Today we're going to learn how to clean a keyboard. As I use this keyboard, over time there are little bits of debris that fall between the keys. This could come from dog hair, food crumbs, or dust. Cleaning your keyboard involves removing all the keys, wiping them down one by one, and blowing out the area between the keys before putting them back in. I have a mechanical keyboard. This is a keyboard that uses mechanical switches that give you that nice clicky sound when you press them. This process will be the same for most mechanical keyboards, but getting the switches off a laptop keyboard might be different and more difficult. Newer MacBooks are designed in a way that debris shouldn't even be able to get under the keys. So with those, you can just take a damp cloth and wipe it down. Let's get started. Before starting, you should either turn off your computer or unplug your keyboard, since you'll likely be pressing all the keys. It's always a good idea to either take a picture of your keyboard before you start, or designate an area on your desk to organize the keys in the same layout they're in on your keyboard. If you mess up or forget where a key goes, when you're putting the keys back on, you can either look at your picture or open up a text editor and press the key to make sure you're putting it back in the right place. Be careful with this, as some keys, like the print screen key at the top or the control key, won't visibly do anything on their own. To pop off a key, you should be able to use your fingers and pry it off, like so. For some keyboards, especially laptop keyboards, you might need to use a little more force and use something like a plastic prying tool. Remember, the keys are plastic, so don't apply so much force that you'd risk breaking them. After we clean this keyboard, we'll also do a quick run through a laptop keyboard. Look how disgusting that is. All that dog hair and breadcrumbs. Let's clean this up. Once the keys are all off, we'll take a disinfecting wipe and wipe each key down, making sure to keep the keys organized. Once that's done, leave the keys to dry and grab a can of compressed air and blow any debris out of the keyboard. There might still be some hairs you can't get out with the air, so we'll use some tweezers to carefully pull those out. My keyboard also has a removable palm rest, so we'll go ahead and pop that off and clean under it. Look how dirty that is. Finally, we'll take a disinfecting wipe and wipe the keyboard down. Be very careful, make sure it's not plugged in or you can risk shorting something. We'll also clean the palm rest, making sure to get the dirt inside of all those little dots right there. For the smallest particles I couldn't get out, I'm going to use this little brush, and that should get them right out. That looks so much better. Wow. Let's start putting everything back together. For this keyboard, all the keys simply slide in, just like Lego pieces. You'll notice that the shift keys are not the same length, so be sure to put each one back in the correct spot. The short one usually goes on the left. Some keys, like the arrow keys, might be easy to put in the wrong spot, so pay attention to where the key is marked. What I mean by this is the arrow, notice, is at the top center of the key. If you were to flip it upside down or sideways, it would appear in the wrong spot, inconsistent with all the other keys. Also, notice how when this one is upside down, it's angled downward more than the other keys. This would make it look out of place, so be sure to orient the keys in the proper direction. Also, don't forget to put the palm rest back in if you have one. This one slides right in. Just like that. Once everything is back on, you're done. Turn your computer back on and give each of the keys a test. On a laptop keyboard, we'll use a plastic prying tool to come in from under the top edge of the key and gently pry it up until it snaps off. For most keys, you can even use your finger. The key is to be gentle. You may need to watch out, as some of these keys have a different mechanism than the others, especially these three around the trackpad ball. They actually pop off from the bottom rather than the top. Be careful, because if you do it the wrong way, you might risk taking these plastic pieces off, and they might be a pain to put back on. Just like with the mechanical keyboard, follow the same process to get the keys off. Clean them with the disinfecting wipe, remove any debris by using canned air or a tweezer, and pop the keys back in. The function keys will come out from the side instead of the top or bottom. This one's having some trouble coming out. Don't force them. There we go. Yep, and you can see that plastic piece is hanging off. So we'll want to take it out from the key and put it back in. And these plastic pieces are extremely fragile, so you need to be very, very careful with this. If you look at the back of the keys, you'll see these plastic clips that attach to the plastic clip on the keyboard itself. So the ones on the bottom of the key here slide right in, and then you snap these top ones straight down until it clicks. Some longer keys, such as the shift key, will also have a metal bar that needs to slide in to these two little connectors on either side that hold it in place. If you have a laptop, I recommend not doing this yourself, because the plastic clips that hold the keys in place are very fragile and you will likely break at least some of them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.